Welcome to Moments of Truth. This is Susan Kerby, and I want to let you know not being heard is the same as being silent. So today is really about what does it take to be heard? It is, you'd think that just speaking could have you be heard, but I don't know about you if you've ever just tried speaking and people don't get it and people don't always understand it. I have this great old story that kind of illustrates it for me. Is I went to a wedding. It was a beautiful outdoor wedding, and I was wearing a blue and white striped dress, and it was at calf length, came down to my calves, and I was very excited about wearing this dress to my friend's wedding. And I walked in, and my coworker was wearing the exact same dress, and I was like, oh, you know how you kind of shrug it off and you go, oh, that's funny. We're wearing the same dress. And then I realized, well, how unique do I really expect to be while I'm wearing something I bought off the rack? And that's that piece of um, I we as adults figured it out, but as I recognized her 3-year-old didn't have the same recognition. And when he grabbed my leg instead of his mom's leg and he looked up at me, he screamed because watching me was not what he expected. Like that whole piece of if we're dressed like everybody else or sound like everybody else, nobody's going to get to know us. Like our being the same as others has us not communicate. But when we share our differences, when we share our uniqueness, that's what has people recognize you for you. So my invitation to you is to be like, I don't know if you just look at Nordstrom's or Walmart, like Nordstrom's, when they communicate to their people. And when Walmart communicates their messaging, they communicate to their people. So the Nordstrom customers are never surprised by the price, and the Walmart customers are never surprised they don't have any help in the shoe department, right? Nobody's looking for personal attention at Walmart. So everybody knows kind of what to expect, and they get to attract their ideal clients. So when you're speaking, whether it's to to find the people you want to hang out with, or it's to find real clients who want to pay you, when you're speaking your uniqueness, when you're being who you are, then you can be attractive. And and it's funny. I was just sharing this story with my nephew and his soon-to-be fiance, but they haven't quite popped the question yet, about how it was when my husband and I got together. And originally, when we got together, he would ask me, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I don't care. What do you want to do?" And he came up with, dinner and dancing in the city. I'm like, "Fabulous." And then he'd go, "What movie do you want to go see?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Whatever movie you want to go see." Because it's that piece of I'd kind of learned not to have my own voice. I'd learned to have my mother's opinions because I figured people liked you better if you had their opinions. And as it turned out, this future husband of mine, who was at the time dating me, called me up and said, "I don't think we should be dating anymore." And I said, "Really?" And I said, "Well, we should talk." And what it turns out, when we talked and I asked him, "Well, what would the one look like?" He goes, I, I don't know. And he goes, "Well, like I'm thinking, what hoop do I have to jump through to become the one so I can be the person he's looking for?" Which is a lot of what we do in our messaging is try and figure out, how do I be the person you're looking for if you wanted to pay me? But what turned out was I couldn't find a hoop to jump through. He kept saying, "I don't know. I'll just know the one when I meet her. I don't know." And so I said to him, I go, "Tell you what, I'm really clear about what I want. So why don't I tell you what I want? And if you don't want what I want, we don't even have to worry about what you want." And he was like, "Okay." And I said, "I want to have a partner. I want to have somebody who gets behind me and has me be great. Whoever I'm going to be with, I'm going to have him be great. And that's what I want in life. If you want to take your two businesses and turn them into something, I'm up for that. If you want to go join the Peace Corps, that's not my life." Okay, so once I said who I was and what I really wanted, now he was interested. This is when he started being, "Okay, let's keep dating." That's what had him be attracted to me, was when I let me speak my truth instead of trying to figure out what everybody else wanted to hear. Okay, so this is that whole not being heard is the same as being silent. So if you don't speak your truth and you don't say what is yours to say, whether it's dating or whether it's your clients, I had another client who came up to me, help, I've got a talk coming up. I really need your help. I said, great. Let's do a VIP day get together. And she brought me her webinars and the things she'd been doing, but now she was speaking on stage. And I'm like, why is this so generic? Where's all your spirituality? Her tagline was where spirituality and practicality merge. But her talk was all about practicality. And she goes, well, they tell you not to lead with God. And I go, yeah, but they don't tell you to kick him to the curb either. So once we got her speaking her truth and talking about how you weave in the part of you were just minding your own business and all of a sudden got these messages, and like when you just start to give your gifts in a way that people can hear them, then that's what I call when you shine your light, your people can find you. What I told that client was, if you're not shining your light, your people won't even know it's you they're looking for. So there's this piece of when you speak your truth, that's when your voice can be heard above all the other noise. You're like the little bird who's chirping your song, and all the other birds who sound like you will listen to you and come to find you. And if you're just chirping somebody else's song, you're going to get the wrong birds. So, this is that piece of when you speak your truth, you can be heard above the noise. So, that part of not being heard is the same as being silent. So it's time for you to not be silent. It's time for you to speak. And your message can change lives, but only if it's delivered and only if it's delivered effectively. So if you'd like some help with your speaking and knowing if it's being heard, I just offered a program called Speak, Stage Time Spotlight. And I'd love to have you be a part of it. We're going to put a link down below. It's a weekly call right after these calls, starts at 9:30 Pacific time. And you get to speak for 3 minutes and I give you 2 minutes of feedback, and you get to hear everybody else's speaking and feedback. Because so often we don't know why our voice isn't being heard. And that's what 30 years of being in the speaking business has given me. I hear what has people lean in, and I hear what has people lean out. So let's get people leaning in. Let's get your voice being heard and stop being silent and start speaking. So if you'd like to speak, come join us. And otherwise, I will see you again next Wednesday at our Moments of Truth, and we will see you then. And if you have questions, private message me and I'm happy to answer. Blessings on you all. Have a great day.